What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Zach here with Good Game Nation coming at you with another deck profile. Today it's the Sanji list that I've been playing. You guys wanted an in-depth analysis, so we're gonna go ahead and give that to you. I guess we'll just talk over the cards real quick. Yes, the option count is kind of low. However, the cards that we play to supplement that more of a like explosive type of package. It's why we play the little supernova package with the Bonnie. The Scratchmans is a super combo to be able to search it. The Zoros and the laws, the 5-drop laws. Also, onigiri is a supernova target. Um, Law makes it to where the plays that you're able to do, you get to keep specific cards in your hand, summon a vanilla, and untap two. So your law is basically a 3-mana blocker that puts a body on the board. Uh, and you have constant follow up. Like that's the whole point of the deck is to have constant follow up because untapping broken in any game, whether it's Dragon Ball, Magic, uh, any of like any game that allows you to reuse your resources is busted. And from my experience, right? So that's why I wanted to play Sanji in the first place. My list is a heavy go second build because I like opening up 2-drop law into Nami, right? Like you have plays where you basically want to go 2-drop law, summon a vanilla, like you summon your Usopp or you summon your Weevil. Um, they untap the 2 mana, and then you use your wall effect, bounce it back to your hand to play the Nami. And you have the options of either holding up 2 mana or using the Nami effect on play, searching, and then playing like a Bonnie or a Beige. Um, that's ideally like your turn one, turn two for the play, and then everything else from that point kind of evolves into how your hand plays out, the cards that you have, how you can combat it, what your opponent's trying to do. But that's like generically what you want to do in the early game. We included a heavy film package though, because in my area there's a lot of purple, and that's still your worst matchup. Like no matter what you do, it you could try, you can wish, you can say, "Oh, purple's great, it's a good matchup." It's not. Everybody knows it's not. But playing the Luffy gives us an opportunity when they blow out our board to come back because Luffy is uh, a 7-drop blocker, 7K. It's pretty big to deal with. And then on play, you get to play 4 or less. There is a point where I was playing the Brook because there's a lot of purple. So that's something you could do if you want. Like if there's a ton of purple, like I found value of, oh, you blew my board. Okay, cool. Let me summon Luffy, summon Brook summon Usopp. Let me untap 2. So I spent 5 mana to get 14 mana worth onto the board and have 2 mana open to defend myself with. Another thing you want to look at is we play the Mihawk. You can up it. I'm probably going to up it because Whitebeard is starting to become more and more prevalent. And having numbers that naturally handle Whitebeard that make them have to commit stuff to try to deal with you is good. So playing the Zoro does that for us as well because he's also a 6K. He naturally just combats Whitebeard, which is just getting bigger and bigger with all of the regional success. You're just going to see tons of Whitebeard. So the lists are going to change, not drastically, but the list will be changing to handle more Whitebeard. Right. This is just kind of like the streamlined version, right? It's where we're playing like max counts of the super combos that we're playing, the chopper, because it's a film, so it's searchable with our Nami, right? And our Nami's arguably like one of the best cards in the deck. Um, she searches on attack and on play. So your opponent kind of has to deal with this. If they don't, you're just going to get constant value out of it. It's like a better Momo because you can defend this one, right? It's a better Bonnie because you can defend it. It's a 5K body. Uh, And if they don't deal with it off the first turn, you realistically got 2 searches off of it. You're 6 cards through your deck, um, which means you're drawing more cards. You know what you can see. It makes your plays easier, and it kind of lets you play around with like what's coming up. You know, you don't get to necessarily stack your deck, but you do get to stack the bottom of your deck. So if you ever get into like that grindy matchup, you might be able to get around to it just like you do in your normal green decks, your red decks where you're searching, 15, 20 cards in the first 2 turns. Like if you get into the grindy stuff, that could happen. My favorite card in the deck, and they're like one of the main reasons I wanted to play the deck is onigiri. This card, like holding 3 mana up in Sanji represents 10k counter at every time, at every point. Because you're able to onigiri, you tap 3 and you summon your Usopp or you summon your Weevil, right? Like those are the main vanillas in the deck. I don't know if you guys noticed yet or not, but those are kind of the only vanillas we're playing outside of a couple just for big bodies. And the reason is because you play them off of onigiri. When you play them off of onigiri, your Sanji leader triggers, so you untap 2. So onigiri only costs you 1 and net you 6k. That's better than Rad Beam, so why wouldn't you play it? It also, since you'll have the 2 open, then it allows you to play like your Love Mellow or your Punt Gibson, depending on like the game state. It'll probably be Love because you've expended 2 cards, so Love will probably be live, and you could draw into like a 2k or a 1k, and you have like 11k counter off of 2 cards, right? So that aspect is really difficult. Sometimes they'll kind of try to push you out. They'll swing 15k, and you're like, onigiri, love, 1k. And they're like, oh, well, now I lost because you also put a body on board. That's why onigiri is so good. I like playing on my opponent's turn, and this deck gets to play on your opponent's turn. There's another version you guys could try where you max out on onigiris and you play a heavier vanilla lineup. I've seen success with that as well. I like cards with options and then being able to utilize my leader when I want to. I don't think the leader is someone you need to use every turn, but it is a leader that you could use every turn. I mentioned that the purple matchup was basically dog water. Your red matchup, in my opinion, Zoro sucks. Whitebeard is doable. I like to go first into Whitebeard because I'm aggressive, and I won't play my little guys. Like you heard me say that you want to play Law. I wouldn't play Law. I would just use my mana to swing. I wouldn't play cards on the board. And I also like to go first against Whitebeard. Right? Like I like to go, okay, um, summon like a beige or a Bonnie. Probably just beige. And then I go summon Usopp, put the mana on my leader, swing with leader. So I get a big swing plus a body on the board. And you kind of just do that over and over again. The next turn you establish a Zoro or a Frankie, or you law back into the Usopp and you untap the 2 and you put it back on your leader and you swing again. Like there's so many things that you could do that are like it's a little cheeky. It's really good. Um, Blue and green are naturally just kind of like our defensive colors, our value colors. So I think the leader is really strong. Your green matchup feels very, very winnable. Your black matchup, again, if you don't play the small stuff, very, very winnable. Luffy is a card that it's your comeback card. You can set it up. You can sit on a Luffy. You can sit on uh, the Brook to be able to just play Luffy, play Brook, or sorry, not Brook, Usopp, and then untap 2 to hold up for defensive purposes. And you're never truly out of the game when you have a quote unquote dead hand because you can always have 2 up off of playing a card. And I think that's why I value this leader, and I'll probably just continue to work on it and play it over and over again until I get to a point where I'm truly comfortable with the deck. But I can tell you guys that I will probably play a bigger Brook count I will include it into the deck. We'll probably cut down on like a Chopper, maybe a Scratchman or a Bonnie, maybe even. But I want the option to fill a board with 3 bodies and hold up mana because all of those bodies get to attack. So like it's also like a it is a win condition in itself by playing the field package, especially if you get blown out. So those are my thoughts on the deck. I didn't touch on the blue matchup at all because I feel like it's just free. But outside of that, you guys let me know what you thought about the deck, whether you liked it, whether you didn't like it. What do you think I should play? What I shouldn't play? Have you guys tested it out? Is there other engines that you like? There's all kinds of things that we can do, right? Like that's what I love about the multicolor leaders. So that's my take on the deck. You let me know what you guys think, and I will see you next time. Until then, take it easy. Have a good day. Later.
And you're out.
Sick.